What's up, guys? Pikachus Cuzzin here. Got some Pokemon Showdown battle replays for you. I got a PU match and an OU match, and we're gonna start with the OU match, obviously. So I'm gonna lead off with my Specs Polytoad, get my rain up, and I figure a Focus Blast will do a big chunk to this Ferrothorn, and it does over half. And he's just gonna set up the spikes, because spikes are always handy. And right here he goes for Protect. I never really see Protect on Ferrothorns, but I guess he was just trying to stall his HP back up, but that doesn't matter because it did over half, so I'm easily going to take out that Ferrothorn. And so he's going to bring in his Starmie. T-Bolt is incredibly obvious, so I'm going to go into my Landorus and take the T-Bolt fantastically because it's immune, and I'm just going to U-turn out. It does a big chunk of damage, and I'm going to go back into my Polytoad because I figure he's going to go for a Surf or an Ice Beam or something like that. And he does go for the Ice Beam, and that does nothing to my Polytoad. So right here, I'm actually going to stay in, and he must have thought that I was going to switch back into my Landorus to take a T-Bolt, but I'm just going to stay in and surf him. That was kind of ballsy, but it worked out on my side. So he's going to bring in his Gengar, and I honestly thought that that Shadow Ball would take me out. I was very surprised by that. But it doesn't, and I'm able to take him out with a Surf. And right here, he makes a weird play by going straight for the Dragon Dance. I mean, he could have just taken me out, but I mean, whatever. I'm just able to get off a Surf and do a huge chunk, even though it's resisted. But, you know, it's because it's Specs. So now that my Polytoad's down, I can bring in my Landorus safely and go for the Hidden Power Ice and, finish off that Haxorus. So here, I go for a Hidden Power Ice, basically to see how much damage it would do. And it does a decent little chunk, but now I gotta switch out because I don't want to lose my Landorus. And I'm gonna go into my Ferrothorn to take the Dragon-type move. And that didn't really do anything and is resisted, and that's awesome. So now he's gonna go for the Fire Blast. I honestly forgot that these guys carry Fire Blast. And look at that, he got a burn. I've never ever seen anybody get a burn with a Fire Blast. But I'm just gonna set up my seeds because I like Leech Seed. It's a pretty cool move. And now I am gonna switch into my Cloyster. I don't know why. I don't even know what kind of Cloyster set this is. I think it's a physically defensive Cloyster, so I don't know why I would bring it into Hydreigon. I think I just really wanted to get kill with Cloyster with the Icicle Spears. But that's not gonna work because he's gonna finish me off with the Dragon Pulse. And now I have the safe opportunity to bring in my Landorus again and go for a U-turn. I was hoping that would take him out, but it doesn't, and I'm fine with that. I'm going to bring in my Ferrothorn to fodder off to the Dragon Pulse. And now I can bring my Landorus back in. Man, I never noticed. He is the total MVP of this match. So he's going to switch out into his Gliscor thinking that I'm going to go for another U-turn, but I'm not because Hidden Power Ice is the better option because it hits both of his Pokemon very hard. So now I'm able to finish off his Gliscor, and all he has left is the Hydreigon, which is gonna get destroyed by the Hidden Power Ice. So yeah, that was a pretty quick match. It was really fun though, and yeah, I got a funny little Charmander picture coming up for you right here. Look at him chasing that tail. That's adorable. I love Charmander. So next up is the PU match. As you can probably tell by the turns up there that it's a very short one, but it's really fun. And I wanted to post it just to show how Emolga really shines in this match. So let's just get it started. I'm going to lead off with my Wormadam to hopefully get up my rocks and all that. And he makes a good play by switching out and switching in his Dodrio into the rocks so he doesn't have to take the rocks damage later. And he's going to go for a Brave Bird, and that does really nothing. So I'm just going to go for a Flash Cannon, get some damage off on him. That does a big chunk. So now I know next turn he's going to die to the combination of the Brave Bird recoil and the Flash Cannon. So I'm really happy with that, because in PU, Dodrio is just a huge ass threat. So now he's going to bring in his Electrode, and I figured that the electric move is pretty obvious, because what else does he have for a Wormadam? So I'm going to bring in my Emolga and get the Motor Drive or whatever ability that is. So now I have +1 speed. And I get the world's luckiest crit right here to take out this Lairon. So now I'm really lucky, and I'm just gonna go for another T-Bolt. I am Specs, so I'm locked into T-Bolt anyway, but I know this will take him out because that Sudowoodo has horrible special defense. And now he's gonna bring in his Ursaring, and I'm scared of this thing. So I'm just gonna go for the T-Bolt, hoping that it would take him out, but it doesn't. And look at this, oh my god. I lived that facade. I was so impressed by that. So now I am able to finish him off with the T-Bolt. And he has 2 Pokemon left. Emolga is just cleaning up like a janitor. So he's going to bring in his Electrode. I'm really like, I got my fingers crossed right here. But it is resisted, so I'm not going to be able to take him out. And he's going to finish me off with Hidden Power, whatever. I'm thinking Grass. And so now I'm going to bring in my Monferno just to hit him with a priority, take him out with a Mach Punch. But he does get the static. I guess that's a little bit of justice for the crit I got on his Lairon. So now all he has left is the Beautifly, and I go for a Mach Punch here, basically because I figured if I went for the Flare Blitz to take him out, I'd probably get Parahaxed. I don't know why, but I just did it. So he's able to take me out with a Psychic. I'm starting to think he's Specs, but it doesn't matter because what better way to finish off this match than a Choice Scarf Giga Impact from a Grand Bolt. That is a lot of damage. So that was a really good game. It was fun to use Emolga, and this guy was a really good sport. He's like, I am not going to get swept by an Emolga, and he didn't, so it works out. And peace out, guys.